have known Dr. Pass for over 20 years, and through all that time, the interactions at the patient's bedsides, the academic discussions, I've seen someone who is dedicated to the sickest children, skilled in his hands and in his heart. He can fix short circuitries, but for all of you know, electrophysiology, in pediatric cardiology patients. He can do interventional cardiology on the most complex lesions. And he's weaved together the clinical acumen, the technical expertise, and the sound judgment. And he cares about the emotional strains on the families. An academic leader, publications and committees and podcasts and conferences. He trained in pediatric cardiology at Boston Children's, and given that he is a lifelong Yankees fan, I will share the words of Yogi Berra. You can observe a lot by watching. And he was watched by the best when he was a fellow, and now those who he trains watch him the best. Bringing to the profession intellectual curiosity, collegial spirit, time, and energy, and a passion for medicine. There's no greater responsibility exists than being entrusted with the life of someone's child, and Dr. Pass knows that. So to close, I will turn to another side of Dr. Pass. He's an aficionado of opera. And so to quote one of the greatest opera writers of all time, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, neither a lofty degree of intelligence nor imagination, nor both together, go to the making of genius. Love, that is the soul of genius. And Rob loves pediatric cardiology. And for that, countless children and families are forever grateful. So I'm honored to introduce Dr. Robert Pass as this year's winner of the Harboring Hearts Helping Hearts Award.
Thank God every day for that. Thank you so very much, Commissioner Zucker. He's one of my very best friends in life, and I'm most appreciative of your extremely kind words. I wish to congratulate first my co-awardees. I'm truly honored to be receiving the same award as you, knowing as I do your myriad accomplishments. And thank you, Dr. Safia, for your kind words. It was always a pleasure working with you, and I learned so much from you, and always appreciated your support. I'm most appreciative of Dr. Peter Pastusko, who is my event chairman this evening and my friend and partner in crime in leading the Children's Heart Center at Mount Sinai. I really could not imagine a better person to work with in trying to provide optimal cardiac care to the children of New York. I am honored also to have in the audience today the president of Mount Sinai, Dr. David Rich. And I'm also honored to have Ms. Freda Burstein, who's the Vice Chairman for Administration for our Pediatrics Department at Mount Sinai, as well as Ms. Kara Watts, who's the Associate Director of Cardiology. I also wish to acknowledge all of my friends and colleagues at Mount Sinai and Montefiore who are here this evening, and I wish to especially mention Dr. Giorgio Fori, who was a fellow of mine back at Columbia when I worked with Alan Schwartz many years ago, and who now is the Chief of Pediatric Critical Care at Mount Sinai, and I find myself now having to go for his counsel, even though I supposedly trained him. I'd also like to acknowledge Dr. Jacqueline Lamore, who's been such a good friend and colleague all of these years, at least 22 of them, I think, Jackie. And finally, Dr. Daphne Sue, who's both a friend and mentor for most of the past 20 years. I consider myself extraordinarily lucky to work with and for all of these wonderful colleagues on a daily basis. And because we all understand that caring for sick children with heart problems is really a team sport. I graduated from medical school 28 years ago and have been extraordinarily lucky to have had wonderful mentors and support throughout my life, most especially my parents, Mrs. Sheila Pass, who I'm so happy is here this evening, and my beloved deceased father, Dr. Sheldon Pass, who always offered me such good advice throughout my life, perhaps the most important being the simple dictum to always try your best in any task and that's proven to be the very best advice I've received as a doctor. I wish to also mention my stepfather, Professor Martin Edelman, who's here today and has always been a wise counsel for me the past 20 years. I want also to thank my family, starting with Dr. Anna Kimmelfeld, who is always so profoundly supportive of me, inspires me, and takes care of me as well. And also her children, Bossy, Ari, and Miriam, who are so understanding of why sometimes I'm a bit grumpy at home after a long day. I love you all so much. I've saved the people I would like to thank to the end the most, and that is, of course, Harboring Hearts Foundation for this wonderful honor. That an organization which is so focused on supporting patients and their families in their worst and most vulnerable moments would think that I was deserving of this award is something of which I'm most appreciative. The older I grow and the longer I do this job as a pediatric cardiologist, the more clear it's become to me how much I owe to the brave patients and patient families who entrust their health and lives to me. This is a responsibility and an honor that I take very seriously and which has guided me my entire professional life. I've learned over the years how much more I receive from my patients and their families than I've ever given, and for this I'm profoundly grateful. To receive an award from an organization such as Harboring Hearts that is so devoted to patient well-being is something that is extremely meaningful to me. I am humbled by this award. Thank you, Harboring Hearts, so very much for your kindness to our patients and this evening to me. Thank you so very much.